you all so much. Thank you very much. And we see the younger ones, you know. We groom them. Dr. Tim will tell us we blood them into the leadership roles. So we have the young and the not so young. And of course you have the wise who are not so young as well. So let's give it up to all our MPs, senators who are here. All our councillors, all our aldermen, all the activists. I say good night and thank you for joining us here, excuse me, in this cottage meeting tonight. A lot of things to say. Give it up to Jill and John tonight, brilliant. Give it up to Saddam Hussein. And give it up for Ram. All UNC stalwarts working so hard. Today, many persons went to Parliament. MPs were in the House, senators were in the Senate. I did not go to the Parliament today, but guess what? Rowley wasn't there either. So I didn't want to go to listen to Camille, who was laying, over 60 plus papers on the Parliament or the paper today. Nothing to help people. Nothing to deal with the crime. Nothing to deal with healthcare. Nothing to deal with anything that touches and concerns your life. Instead, they came and laid over 60 papers. And only 2 were important for today. All the others were about last year, and the year before, and the year before, 2020, 21, 22, 23, backwards. Only 2 important, and I'll speak of both in a while. One was the laying of the special report by the Auditor General, and the other one was the report, the first report of the procurement regulator. Welcome, Senator Damien, all in his suit. Are you still coming from Parliament? Yes. He said he didn't reach home yet from Parliament, but anyway. So today was this final sitting of the session of Parliament. We move into a new session, the 5th, I think it is, a 5th session. So we go into the last parliamentary year. And guess what? You know we are in an election year. We are in an election. Are you ready? Are you on election home stretch? Well, you better be ready because these fellas, they don't know if they're coming or they're going. One day Rowley saying, don't bother, come, no election. Next day, Foster up in somewhere, wherever, and he say, get ready. Today, front page, Stuart Young saying, what, brace yourself or something. The Women's League, they're totally confused. You know why? They don't know if to call it or not to call it. Because they know anytime they call it, licks book. It's licks like fire and licks like peas, they know it. So they're confused. But as Saddam told us, no matter what they do, you can run, but you cannot hide. You cannot hide. And it will catch up. Their term is coming to an end. So where is Mr. Rowley? Was in Parliament today. But you know, the media reports, I wasn't there, but they never said Rowley wasn't there. Where is he? Do you know where he is? He gone somewhere. They say he gone for medical checkup. So Rowley, why you have to carry all your golfing partners with you and you're going for a medical checkup? All 3 of them going for medical checkup with you? Did Newman George go with you, your golfing partner, Newman George, for a checkup too? Did Richard Smith go for a checkup with you too? And did Barry, I think, Barry Ferdinand, he going for a checkup too? 3 golfing partners go. All right, careful. Hold on, be careful. 3 golfing partners gone with Rowley. Huh? What's that? I'm told they were on the same flight. So I don't know, check up or is golf up? Golfing. No. They told me don't talk about it. All right, I'll move on. Don't remind. Okay. So that's what I'm told. I'm asking, is it true? On the same flight, took his 3 golfing partners. for a checkup with him. Today, as I said, sitting of the Parliament, nothing that touches and concerns really the quality of your life, your safety and security. Instead, laid over 60 papers, I mentioned it, and further, they came to carry forward certain bills. So they came to carry forward the Constitution Amendment Tobago Self-Government Bill. You know when that was laid in the Parliament? 2020. The Tobago Self-Government Bill, and Rowley spoke of it recently. 2020 laid in the Parliament. Doesn't end there. It was laid on the 14th October 2020. These people aren't serious, you know. They want a mama guy Tobago people, but Tobago people are bright like Jill and John. They know what they have to do. They know what they have to do when the time comes. Late October 2020. Debated June 2021. Adjourned at the committee stage June 2021. They carried over to the second session 2022. They carried over again third session 2023. They carried over to the fourth session in 2024, and now they want to carry it over again today. They carried it over. You're just mama guy in the Tobago people. You promised them this bill since 2020. Here we are in 24, and you're carrying it over again in the Parliament. Campaign finance reform. This is part of the representation of the people bill number 2. Boasting about campaign finance reform every single year. You know when that bill was laid in our Parliament? October 2020, 4 years ago. You come today to do what? Carry it over. Late October 2020. Sent to a JXC, a Joint Select Committee, 14th October 2020. Work of the JSC carried over to 2022. Work of the JSC carried over 2023. Work of the JSC carried over 2024. And now, today, carried over again into the next year. They're not serious. Campaign finance reform. And there's several others that they did that with today. I move along because I have some very important things that concern your life and the quality of life. So, no one knows who is leading the PNM. Rowley says, no election. Stewart says, election soon. Well, they totally emasculate Imbert. Poor fella. Poor fella. Totally emasculated. He's been humiliated by Rowley. First, Stewart took away Rowley's chairman, Imbert, took away the chairmanship from Imbert of their party. Then now Stewart has taken over Imbert's role as acting Prime Minister. Now don't be surprised when the budget debate starts, might be Stewart leading the budget, reading the budget, you don't know, because Stewart climbing all over poor little Imbert, poor fella. Faris, Foster and Penny are hanging on by a thread, waiting on the PNM internal election in November. Now I want you to remember something, people talk about our internal election. We had a free and fair fight, and the starting won. We have been elected by the membership, duly elected, to guide and take this party forward into whatever the future holds and into that election. But I want you to remember we held that one day. That was a one-day democratic exercise of rights by UNC members. Rowley had his election over 3 days. A 3-day election, remember that? His internals. And how many votes he got? 8,000 votes. So when they're shouting at you and my executive and my leadership, remind him he was a sitting prime minister in the whole country, run an election for 3 days and got what? 8,000 votes. Well, Rowley, in this general election, you're not going to get any of those votes. All the votes will go to the United National Congress. All to the UNC. So there is chaos in the government. And let's see what comes on their agenda. My agenda tonight, I want to talk about healthcare. My plans for improving healthcare over the period when you put us back into office. I want to thank 2 brilliant doctors and a third. 2 are sitting in the Parliament for their suggestions. They are Dr. Lakram Bodo and Dr. Rishi Sicharan, and our own stalwart, the legend himself, Dr. Tim Gopi Singh. So let's deal with current problems in the health sector. Because you know what? Crime touches and concerns everyone. But healthcare touches and concerns every single person. Agreed? Every person. And we must address our health concerns and the lack of proper healthcare. In spite of spending about $6 billion, not million, no, $6 billion annually on the health sector over the past 9 years, people are still experiencing numerous problems when they seek health care at our hospitals and health centers. The Minister of Health, some call him the Minister of Death, continues to govern by public relations stunts, deflecting from the issues and pretending all is well in the health sector. This government has consistently misplaced its priorities about expenditure in health, choosing to build a vanity Ministry of Health admin building, a vanity admin building for Mr. Diyal Singh to sit down there with his staff, and building a vanity hospital car park in San Fernando, while at the same time patients are waiting for cardiac and other very critical procedures. This is a government that fooled the nation into believing there was a parallel healthcare system during the pandemic, when the reality was very different. Over 5,000 people are dead because of state-sanctioned murder during the COVID pandemic. Never forget that in January 2020, at a joint select committee of Parliament, Dr. Bodo asked CMOH Roshan Parasram, Dr. Parasram, Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Bodo asked him about the risk of COVID-19 for the upcoming carnival. Dr. Parasram told the committee.
Well, a good night to all and sundry. Of course, we had a little technical difficulty in starting, but I think we would have done justice to you, or for you, or on your behalf, by, of course, bringing, of course, Kamala Prasad-Bissesa's address to the Monday Night Forum of the UNC. And let's watch the listener take in, and then, of course, we will have a conversation thereafter. Don't forget, of course, the lines will be open immediately, and I may not be able, of course, to make these impromptu calls because of the lateness or the tardiness of tonight's program. But let's hear Kamala Prasad-Bissessa.
Shamelessly he was awarded the Order of Trinidad and Tobago when under his watch over 5,000 of our people or citizens died. He banned cremation, open-air cremations, banned. The court has now found that was illegal for him to do that. Banned it. Unconstitutional. He banned that practice of open-air cremations. I want to give the assurance, under the government that you will elect us to, the UNC will go into government, we'll put into place a commission of inquiry into the COVID-19 mismanagement. A commission of inquiry into COVID-19 mismanagement. And we'll pursue justice on behalf of those over 5,000 dead COVID victims through the criminal and civil courts. And to do that as well, we'll introduce a new criminal offense of criminal manslaughter, corporate manslaughter. That offense will also cover what happened at Paria. I see Councillor Kushi's here. Yes, her husband was one of those. Our condolences always. Corporate manslaughter. Commission of inquiry and a new criminal offense on our statute books. Let us remember that the health sector continues to be plagued by many, many issues. Let's deal with some of them, and the doctors have shared with me, and persons too, they call in and they ask for help. So many people share the pain and the stress. Some of these issues are Long waiting times for clinic appointments. Agreed? Long waiting times for cataract, joint replacement, and other surgeries. And still waiting. You still waiting, Melvin? Vote UNC, vote UNC, and we'll take care of the health sector. Frequent shortage of drugs at hospitals and health centers. Scheduled surgeries are often postponed due to lack of supplies. Long waiting times for MRI, CT, ultrasound scans. No definitive plan for reducing the chronic non-communicable disease burden. No plan to address promptly the substantial number of unemployed doctors. Children spending 5 and 6, what was it, Tim, 7 years? 5 years studying to become a doctor. I'm told there are hundreds of young qualified doctors in our country can't get a job. And so many people need to get that health care from these doctors. We have a whole hospital in Cuba. We built that hospital out of spite, malice, ill will. The Rowley government would not open the hospital. They will not open it. We have doctors to staff it. And of course, at the rate we go in, we will not have nurses to staff it because nurses are leaving. So they have no plan to address promptly these unemployed doctors. They have no plan to stem the departure of nurses from our country. And now, you don't have to wait for crime to kill you, you know. You go to the hospital, JJ explained it very graphically. Crime has affected the health sector. Murders at the Port of Spain Hospital on June 2nd. And last week at the St. James Hospital also. And as Jill and John told us, they even fall in the ambulance after they shoot the man or the woman. That's where this country has reached under Rowley. What are the solutions? Tonight, I will share some with you. Shall I do that? What the UNC government will do. A UNC-led government will work to ensure that all receive proper health care. I have a list here, and these are only some of them. Again, I thank the doctors and others who have shared with me. I think we have over 50 plans here to deal with healthcare and the healthcare sector. So if you give me a moment, I think it's about 50. I'll go through that with patience and kindness. It's up on the screen too, and you can take a look. So about 50 plans, solutions to deal with healthcare in our country. 1, a UNC-led government will improve healthcare in the following ways. 1, review the Children's Life Fund legislation to enable more applicants with diseases not presently included in the fund to access that healthcare facility, Children's Life Fund. 2, ensure the Cuba Children's Hospital is fully equipped, staffed, and operational. 3, install a centrally specialized burns unit close to the Point Lisa's industrial complex. This unit can be part of the Cuba Children's Hospital and training facility. 4, purchase and maintain modern equipment at all medical facilities. This will also include having qualified and trained staff to operate the equipment. 5, fix the supply chain issues to prevent the shortage of drugs, equipment, and supplies that now hinder the work of doctors and nurses at many of our healthcare facilities. Fix the chain supply issues to prevent shortage of drugs, equipment, and supplies that now hinder the work of doctors and nurses at many, many healthcare facilities. 6, establish guaranteed maximum waiting times for clinic appointments, diagnostic tests, and surgical procedures. 7, immediately treat the backlog of patients awaiting critical diagnostic tests and surgeries, including cataract and joint replacement surgery. 8, create a national stroke rehab center. Create a national stroke rehab center. 9. Treat the chronic non-communicable disease burden promptly and innovatively, including reintroducing extended hours of opening at health centers, as well as school and home visits within communities. If you're as young as I am, you may remember in school, doctors used to come and visit us in school. Anybody young like me could remember? We have to reintroduce these visits, school and home visits. Yes? And dental as well, yes. 10, settle negotiations in the health sector. Offer proper, better terms and conditions for all doctors, nurses, and other staff in the healthcare system. 11, introduce legislation to create a unique medical malpractice court and special investigative unit aided by experts to handle suspected medical malpractice cases. 12, the great majority of medical malpractice cases are civil matters. We will also establish a no-fault compensation fund so that affected citizens can receive relief even outside of the courtroom. 13, conduct a skills audit within the public healthcare system to train qualified staff in highly demanded areas of specialization. 14, provide opportunities and funding for doctors and nurses to specialize in particular fields. 15, do a full review of the management of the COVID-19 pandemic in TNT for clinical management and economic impact. 16, revise the patient's charter to give patients a greater voice when it comes to public health services. 17, implement a national health card for all resident citizens so that a patient's records can be accessed at any public and or private health facility. So you have your national health card, anywhere you go, you stick in the card and you'll have a full record of your medical history. So then you can be treated properly. This will save time and allow the healthcare provider to access information at their fingertips. This means faster delivery of health services and will make the issue of lost files a thing of the past. Lost files. I don't know how these doctors have lost these files, but the national lawyers too, okay. Yeah, the AG lost a file up there. So the National Health Card will be a great innovation to improve in healthcare. 18, we will also implement data protection systems to back up these electronic medical records safely and securely. 19, review the entire IT system at all RHAs and procure the latest IT technology and systems for the RHAs to mitigate against cyber attacks and hacking. 20, conduct an audit of the number and qualifications of the many foreigners working in our health sector while our citizens remain jobless at home. 21, employ local doctors. Increase the number of doctors in the public health system to achieve the required complement at all public hospitals and health centers, and thus increase the number of doctors to the number of patients. That ratio has to be fixed. 22, employ local nurses. Increasing the number of nurses in the healthcare system by focusing on training and certification of nursing programs and the availability of jobs within our public health sector, and so increase the number of nurses, again, nurses-patient ratio. Now, I remember, Khadija could remind us if it's still open, we had opened a training facility. It was in Tacarigua. El Dorado. Training facility, closed down. The PNM closed it down. I don't know what these PNM people don't like to see people learn anything. A training facility at El Dorado to train nurses and other medical personnel in all fields. And they were being trained because we had said at the Coover Children's Hospital, 2,000 jobs would have been created. Dr. Bode now reminded 2,500 jobs would have been created. So not only would we have got better health care, we'd have been creating jobs for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, taking care of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we would have been able to earn foreign exchange because the rest of the Caribbean, we would have a #1 health facility there, and they will pay to come here. Pay to come here. The same way they pay to come to UE, they would pay to come to that state-of-the-art hospital. Now they pay to go Miami, some go to Venezuela. Well, I don't think they go in Venezuela anymore, but to go to Colombia and other places. Yes, medical tourism, that's the word, medical tourism. That was the plan. 23, employ local technicians. Increase the number of cardiovascular, radiographic, and other specialist medical technicians. Again, more job and better healthcare. 24, focus on decreasing wait times for clinic appointments and surgeries by targeting and increasing nursing staff and medical doctors to these facilities or departments to reduce the workload on the existing staff. 25, train primary care doctors. Increase the number of primary care doctors will decrease non-communicable diseases such as heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, chronic kidney disease, and obesity. 26, equipment audit. All diagnostic and radiographic equipment will be audited to determine any deficiencies with a mandate to fully equip medical professionals with the equipment they need. 27, I know this is very close to the heart of Dr. Bodo. Build cath labs. Build cath labs. Complete construction, equipping, and operationalizing of the cath labs at all major hospitals. So you get a little heart, something, Sanfona is not equipped, They're not equipped, they don't have a cath lab. You're going in there, never to come back out walking. You're coming out on a stretcher. And you're going into the morgue. Build these cath labs at San Fernando General Hospital, Arima Hospital, the Grande Hospital. The Scarborough Hospital has a cath lab, but there is no attending interventional cardiologist. So when you have the lab, you don't have the doctor. And when you have the doctors, you don't have the lab. Totally wrong side government. This would enable cardiac stenting on a 24-hour basis within minutes of arrival at the hospital. If you have that cath lab, within minutes you go in there, diagnose, and they can do stenting, which will make you stay alive, will extend your life. Enabling of a nationwide 90-minute policy of heart attack to stent. Within 90 minutes, we tell you, we can do it. You must put us back in government and we will do it. Heart attack to stent, a 90-minute period if we have fully equipped cath labs and doctors. 28, this one again is so many people it affects. Dialysis clinic. Dialysis. Complete construction, equipping, and operationalizing of dialysis clinics at all the major hospitals with relevant staff to enable dialysis on a 24-hour basis. So you reduce the state's bill to the external patient program by at least 100 per year. Right now, we have to go and pay. The government is paying $100 million a year to go in a private place. And when you check out who owns some of those privates, that'll be another story. Who owns them? $100 million a year, which we can now pump into our own state institutions, hospitals, to take care of all those people with kidney problems, to have dialysis at our hospitals. That way, as I say, we can reduce the bill of $100 million per year. We can allow only emergency dialysis to be paid for by the private provider. So we bring everybody in, but if there's an emergency, you can still use the external patient program, okay? But let's equip our hospitals, have these dialysis clinics. 29, ambulance service. Last time I remember, it was when Mr. Pandey was in government, that we set up ambulance with Dr. Hamza Rafiq, yes, those ambulances. Since then, the PNM has done nothing to improve it. Ambulance service. We will expand the ambulance service to rural areas in Central and South Trinidad and East as well, with the creation of a central and southern hub for cleaning and re-outfitting these ambulances. 30, National Lab Center. This state-of-the-art lab adjacent to the Couva Hospital and outfitted with equipment and staff to enable the quickest turnover in testing, a national lab center for turnover all your testings, to do it there at a central point. 31, National Cardiac Center, a state-of-the-art cardiology center adjacent to the Couva Hospital, operating with 2 operating theaters, 1 ICU, 1 CCU, and a cath lab to allow bypass surgeries to be done. This would significantly reduce the bypass backlog. Patients currently have to wait at least 12 to 18 months for bypass surgery. By that time, they bypass you, you're dead. 12 to 18 months, yes. This can be remedied when we set up the National Cardiac Center. Right down Couva, we have the land. The state has the land. 32, strategic partnerships with international health educators for internal medicine, for cardiology and nephrology. Doc, what is nephrology? Kidneys. Deal with your kidney. So for your heart, cardiology, and nephrology to deal with kidneys. Strategic partnerships, we have had some of those before. The Chinese have been very helpful to us in the past. At the Auditor General Hospital, they were, yes, they came, the neurosurgeon, Chinese team had come down during my term in government and gave the benefit of their expertise. So we can do strategic partnerships with others. 33, I know you will like this one, Sandra. And I know Brenda will like it even more. CDAP. CDAP. Because Brenda will send me 50 text messages during the day about people suffering and they can't get the CDAP medication. True or not true? It's true. All the councils here know it. CDAP, the PNM has killed the CDAP program. We will review and update CDAP. Review and update CDAP. Streamlining medication and increasing service to rural communities. Newer drugs that are very effective in hypertension and diabetic treatment should be now included on the CDAP list. New medications, I mean, technology is ever evolving, but we are living in the Stone Age, in the age of the dinosaurs, when the technology has moved so rapidly. So newer medications should be considered to be added to the CDAP list. 34, childhood obesity. You know what I mean? Childhood fat. In simple language, childhood obesity. We shall propose legislation for front of package warning labeling to be put on retail food products to warn consumers of high sugar, high sodium, and high fat items. Put it on the label. So as a parent, when you go to buy, you can make a decision. You have a choice. It is your lifestyle, it is your choice, but you will at least make a knowledgeable decision. Put it on the package. This will intensify the existing awareness programs for combating childhood obesity and expand their reach. 35, implement a modern prenatal, maternal, baby, an early childhood care strategy. The hospital in Coverdale was part of that. Modern prenatal, maternal, baby, and early childhood care strategy. By the way, Doc, whatever became of those 18 babies who died? What has happened? A committee set up again? And nothing. Those 18, in any other country, that happened, you know what have happened? The minister would be gone the very day. 18 babies, man, died in it. Yes, I would have fired him. I would have fired that minister for sure. Some of them sitting here know who got fired already. I was never afraid, and some of them hate me still, not true, Tip? I was never afraid when a minister did not perform or minister did things that were not acceptable. I was never afraid. I fired them. I did it once, I'll do it again if I have to. I will do it. I will do it. There must be accountability and transparency. 36, expanding access to immunization. What that means? Vaccines. Access to getting the vaccines. 37, we'll implement a multi-pronged strategy to deal with reproductive issues and to empower women to seek good health during pregnancy. 38, maternal and child health policy and standard operating procedures for obstetrics and midwifery will be updated and implemented. 39, antenatal and postnatal care services will be improved by purchasing additional equipment needed to track the health of mothers-to-be and their babies. Everybody who had a baby, everybody expecting a baby, the UNC will reintroduce the baby grant. '41, an emergency response plan will be developed to cover all possible medical crises ranging from natural hazards and oil spills to infectious diseases. That includes the dengue. How many told me 16 now dead from dengue. 42, the Minister of Health will make an interministerial arrangement with the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and the Ministry of Environment and Water Resources to address the effects of climate change on human health. 43, we'll initiate a national awareness campaign on mental health. Mental health. We don't pay enough attention. We will initiate a national awareness campaign on mental health. 44, public-private partnerships will be formed to widen the Ministry of Health's reach in mental health promotion. Some persons desperately need mental health help, but they don't even know it, some of them. 40. Somebody said that's, they said they're talking about some role, they told me don't say it. All right, okay. Well, you all know who needs help. Moving along, 45, we'll formalize a draft National Comprehensive Mental Health Implementation Plan. 46, mental health services will be integrated into all routine health service delivery systems. 47, we will increase the number of trained staff at the Ministry of Health Research Unit so that more health research can be accomplished and timely data can be provided. 48, formulate a healthcare financing policy, including introducing and implementing a comprehensive national health insurance system. A comprehensive national health insurance system, and create mechanisms for sustainable financing. 49, the Ministry of Health will collaborate with the Ministry of Education, Tertiary Education and Skills Training, and research institutions focused on the health sector to develop a comprehensive plan for TNT's health, wellness, and preventive medicine. 50, and this is 50, and there are many more I share with you tonight, 50 of our plans, our solutions to improve healthcare in Trinidad and Tobago. 50, commit to the full refurbishment and proper resourcing of the insect vector control division of the Ministry of Health. I could rest it there now on healthcare. So we have the plans, we have the policies, we have the will, we have the vision, and we have a mission to rescue and rebuild Trinidad and Tobago. I've been sharing our plans and we continue to do that. Dr. Tim is the chairman of our manifesto committee, and many people have been sending in their suggestions. Anyone else who wishes to send suggestions, please send them to continue the manifesto planning. We are well on, it's almost complete in fact. I showed you the draft a couple of weeks ago. It's almost complete, but we continue, it's a work in progress. So you can send it to the UNC website, Dr. Tim, you can send Dr. Tim. And I've given you all, I don't know if Kevin can put it up tonight, I've given you all a WhatsApp number, yes? That you can make direct contact with the UNC. I've given you a UNC email address as well. Yes? And I have what you call a QRS. All those things are there. I don't think it's on the screen now, but most certainly you can find out if you're interested to share your thoughts and ideas. I'm moving along. I'm holding in my hand a very special document. It is the special report of the Auditor General on the public accounts for the financial year 2023. This was laid in Parliament today. Huh? He didn't lay it. Again, he hide it. Well, I have it. And I don't know why he's hiding it. The last time we were there, Imbert broke the law. Saddam mentioned it. He broke the law. That report was to be laid in the Parliament. They had it on the table in the Parliament. We could see the books piled up. That was when? In April. It was due in April, which is the Auditor General's report about the public accounts of Trinidad and Tobago. And that will tell you all the revenue that came in, all the expenditure, tell you what the Auditor General is supposed to do, audit the books and say, okay, we earned X dollars and we spent Y dollars and the deficit is so much, everything. But the public accounts of Trinidad were a very important document. In April, the auditor sent it on time to the Parliament. And Imbert came in the Parliament, he refused to lay it, even though it was on the table there. And we said late. He came instead to extend the time for laying, because he said there was an error. It was a mistake. You know what the error was? Almost $3 billion could not be accounted for. Almost $3 billion could not be accounted for. So he didn't lay. Taxpayer, your money, not Imbert's money, taxpayers' money. $3 billion missing. Again, in any other country, that Mr. gone from last week. Now, all that could happen too. $3 billion missing. He refused to lay the report, but the law caught up with him. He had to do it. He eventually came back and he did lay it. And he gave one cock and bull story about why he didn't lay it. He said that the Ministry of Finance was doing some kind of electronic system in accounting. What is it? Check clearing. So they were doing that so they couldn't send the proper records. Okay? So he extended the time. And he bullied the Auditor General, bullied the lady. In fact, I heard today he was very bad. He used the cloak of the fig leaf of parliamentary privilege to lambast the Auditor General, right? Because she stood for the truth and she did the right thing. And that's what this PNM government is about. You remember a lady named Oka Sipol? They run out of the parliament because she stood up to them. This Jaiwanti Ramnas, she's saying, this is it, I'm not going to sign anything that is wrong, because then she will get locked up. She's doing her job. So Imbert refused now, they're telling me, he did not lay today in the Parliament. in the Senate. Not laid. Not laid. So the special report, which I have a copy, and of course I'll share with you, but you know what to tell you. So, government's insistent. The Auditor General re-audited the missing billions, and she compiled this special report, which she said she had already done and had already included in that first report. That report was supposed to be laid. It was on the order paper, but the members are saying it was not laid. And here are some of the findings. So what's the finding? After all the cock and bull story of column and the electronic check clearance system and all of this, you know, when the lady went to check it, to find this 3 billion, the central bank refused to allow her to check it. What are they hiding? And why are they hiding? And the big thing is this report. You know what is the big news? There is no change. The $3 billion still missing. No change. $3 billion is still missing. Where has this money gone? The central bank refused access to the Auditor General. Has the central bank been complicit in cooking the books with this government? What else is the central bank and the government hiding from the people of this country? Remember, they both oversaw the change of the polymer bills, the change of the money. And I heard Mr. Rowley on a platform the other night talking about he get back $500 million when they change the bill, and which people and who people have it hiding, where they have it and don't have it, all kind of. Remember, they were the ones who were in charge when people had to carry in the $100 bill. Yes, remember? Yes. So we have to ask if billions were looted and stolen during a $100 bill exchange. Think of that. We have to ask. Our confidence in the central bank has been diminished. Inquiry into the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, I call for an inquiry into the actions of the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. When it is you cannot have confidence in your central bank, which holds all the money of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, then the country really going through. We're really, really going through. And so I call for an inquiry into central bank. I call for an investigation about that polymer changeover of that $100 bill. And we will do it. When you put us back in the office, we will do the inquiry. We will do it. So what I want to ask you, that $3 billion, where is it? What are they hiding? Why would not let the Auditor General do her job and then use the Parliament to abuse and lambast the poor lady where she has no right of reply in the Parliament? No right of reply. And did all of that while this matter is in a courthouse. The Standing Order say if a matter is sub judice, it should not be discussed in the Parliament. But Imbert Kami did it the last time, did it again, to lambast the Auditor General. For the past 9 years, this government has presented 9 budgets and 9 mid-year review statements through the Minister of Finance. All of these have created suffering for the average citizen. Only Eat Your Food friends, family, and financiers benefited. For 9 years, we've asked, where has the money gone? Where has the money gone? I want you to put up the graphic even. I'm going to show you where some of that money went. $530 million. Billion. I'm going to show you where $530 billion, $500 billion this government has spent. Where has it gone? After they spent $500 billion, more than $530 billion, or 530 million, look, $500 billion, okay? $500 billion. $530 billion they've spent. And in spite of this, citizens of this country have the hardest life ever. Hardest life ever. See, look at the list. What are you living in with $500 billion spent? High land, home, and rent prices, high fuel prices, high food prices, motor vehicle taxes, tickets and fines, increase in business levy, increase in green fund, online tax. I think they even put a tire tax, you remember that? Yes, online tax, tire tax. No VAT refunds. Increased fees, property tax, increased VAT, presumptive taxation, increased water and electricity rates. The government says that TNTEC owes $4 billion and cannot pay, so that the government says they have to raise electricity rates. Why the government did not use $4 billion of this $530 billion they spent to pay NGC for the electricity and so on? Why? Why didn't they do it? You know who owes the most to TNTEC? The government. How much is it, Barry? $1.8 billion is owed by the government to TNTEC, but they want to come and increase your electricity prices, yes, because they can't pay their debt. So you have to pay it for them now. That's what Gonzalez said. I saw him with my own eyes on the TV. I heard it with my own ears on the TV. Thank you. Okay? Okay, thank you. Saddam has just corrected me with the Auditor General's report. He said the report was laid, but it was not circulated to members. Okay? Not yet, as to when they left at 3 p.m. today, about 3 p.m. Okay? So it was laid, but not circulated. Thank you for sharing, Saddam and Nicholas. Thank you very much. So let's say, where does money go now? Let me show you this list. I'm going to show you the PNM $11 billion list. Okay? Spent $500 billion. I'm going to show you 11 billion so far and counting. It will take me longer to tell you where it went, but it didn't come to you. It didn't come to help you in healthcare. It didn't come to help you to deal with crime. It didn't come to bring down food prices. Let's go at it. 1, paintings. As soon as they win government, they buy the paintings, you remember? $3 million for paintings. They bought a Benz for $2 million for the Prime Minister. Trump phone call, they tell me, is about 16 million. Taruba Stadium, 210 million. Boku Estate, 174 million. Toilet paper factory loan, 30 million. A private toilet paper factory, a loan of 30 million. TSTT's purchase of Massey for $255 million. Ernst & Young audits, 20 million. Price Waterhouse audits, 10.5 million. San Fernando waterfront destruction, 500 million. Fake oil, 100 million. Cabo Star mobilization fee, 13 million. Ocean Flower 2 mobilization fee, 20 million. And it continues. President's house restoration, $89 million. 1.2 billion for 4 boats. These were the hostile boats. Prime Minister's resident, $70 million in Tobago. 70 million. And you have parents so they can't buy book. Schools cannot open. They don't have equipment in dilapidated conditions. The family of Faris al-Rawi, $250 million in rent. Prime Minister said the rich get richer. Rich will get richer under him. Stuart Young's brother finance deals with the government, Angus Young, with NCB Global Finance, $4 billion. And counting. Carifesta 2019, $28 million. $120 million loss at terrestrial HDC development. 8.9 million ramp in Tobago to accommodate the Jean de la Valette. 45 million to harass Munilal. This is where they paid SRP, Kate and whoever, to come here to harass Bunilal. And up to today, they can't find nothing to charge him. Mosquito Creek collapses, $50 million. $55 million on the DPP office, which remains empty, to pay rent, empty. $3 billion missing Auditor General's report. Well, I told you about that already. $3 billion still missing. $400 million wasted by NGC on Train 1. $120 million owed by Nikwan for gas. $140 million on Galleon's Passage. $100 million to lease the Jean de la Valette ferry. $120 million on Baliger House. This adds up to $11 billion wasted. Maybe deposited in the Baliger bank books. $11 billion I've shared. And other nights, others will share with you. There's a lot more. They could have had the $4 billion to pay NGC almost 3 times over with all this squandermania that they engaged in. So there we are. Where the money gone, Mr. Rowley? Come and tell us. Come and tell us. It's not in no carry box. I wonder how that minister even knew how much thing a carry box could fit. He probably tried it himself. Yeah. I'm moving along now as I come to an end. Under the PNM, I say expect nothing. Zip, zero, nada, zilch. Expect nothing. Zip, zero, nada, zilch. Nothing. Nothing. Under the PNM, expect nothing. Nothing. They have done nothing to generate income. All they do is tax you and borrow. Where is the plywood factory? They promised. Where is the Toko port? They promised. Where is the prank money from Bill Gates? Remember, Rowley tell us, Bill Gates called him and offered him money, man. He feeling so nice. Where is that money? Where is the money with Dragon Gas? Where is the money with Scandal Sandals? Where is the elaborate dry dock? Where is anything? There is nothing, nothing, nothing under this government. Where is the roadmap to recovery? Where they outsmarted eater food business people and pseudo-intellectuals. Where is this roadmap recovery? Where is it? Non-existent. 9 years and nothing. Under the PNM, I tell you, expect zip, zero, nada, zilch. Nothing under the PNM. And what is the legacy of the PNM after this $500 billion is spent? What is their legacy? I will share with you the legacy of the PNM. Blood-stained streets and bloody red bed sheets. Bloated bodies in bulging body bags. Bullet-busted heads and blown-out brains. Beautiful babies blasted into bits in their beds. Bawling mothers and boiling bellies. Bursting Balaji bank books. Big bribe money, Balaji house painted blood red. Bloodshed, bankruptcy, banditry, and bawling all over Trinidad and Tobago. That is the legacy of this wicked, incompetent PNM government. There's an election budget on its way. This month, next month, but it's on its way, it's coming for sure. Last budget. Yes, David, it is their last budget. So look out for all kinds of promises that they do not intend to deliver. After 9 years of nothing, do you really think they're going to give you anything this year? They're going to get nothing, nothing. After 9 years of nothing, they're going to promise you skittles and rainbows, but deliver nothing. They're going to come with the same old tricks in this Columbus budget, but make it make sense. You know, when Columbus came, he brought trinkets and things. He was a pirate and everything bad you could talk about. And he came and fooled the people with little trinkets, little glass beads, colored stone, whatever, trinkets, fooled people. This budget will be a Columbus budget. They will come to try to fool you with all kind of foolishness, which they have no intention of delivering. Don't get chained up. Don't let them fool you. This Columbus budget will come with the same old tricks. Don't let them fool you and take you for fools. Let them know you have sense to know. A snake may shed its skin, but it will always be a snake. Always be a snake. Think about it. Don't let them take you for fools. Let them know you can count. And one thing you don't make mistake with is to count your money. No mistake with that. When they come to this election to buy you out, they try to buy your vote with $300 and $300 in a red jersey. Yeah? Come in for your vote. Let them know $300 cannot make up for 9 years of nothing. Not this time, PNM, not this time. $300 for you, wrap up in this red shirt, but $530,000 million for their friends, their family, and financiers. We tell them, not this time, PNM. $300 on a red jersey, then another 5 years of what? Nothing. Tell the PNM, not this time. $300 on a red jersey and another 5 years with over 4,500 people murdered. Huh? $300 on a red jersey could make up for that red blood spilled in our land. Men, women, sons, daughters, babies, no way. No way. 3 years on the red jersey and a higher fuel price for another 5 years. That man laughed at you, sat in a big armchair, and he said, what? I raised the prices how many times? And all you ain't riot yet. Well, I asked you to riot with your voting finger. You come out on election day and you cast your vote for the UNC. Put your X next to the rising sun. Higher food prices for 5 years. And they're giving you what? $300 in a red jersey. Ask Michelle Benjamin what happened down in Lingua. That's what they were doing, the $300 in a red jersey. And then you pay $500 million in property tax. They want you to pay property tax. In the books, they say they're hoping to get $500 million in property tax from you. Tell them not this time, PNM. Not this time. $300 in a red jersey. They want you to go through the next 5 years cashless, no cash, no money. Not this time, PNM. Not this time, PNM. Not this time, PNM. I'm saying now it is a time for you. It is your turn. It is time for a U-turn. Go back and vote UNC. Vote UNC all the way for a better 5 years, brighter days under the rising sun. The UNC will ensure you have jobs and more cash in your pockets. We did it before, and therefore we can do it again. We'll ensure you pay no property tax on your home and you have more cash in your pocket. The UNC will ensure we reduce food prices to put more cash in your pocket. The UNC will ensure we settle salary negotiations to put more cash in your pocket. While PNM wants a cashless society, we in the UNC want a society where you have cash, where you take care of your families, and we make sure you are safe and you live your best life. The UNC is the only party with experience in government, so we will hit the ground running from day one. We will hit the ground running from day one. We're the only party with a track record of delivery and performance. We have a plan to move TNT forward. And we are about people-centered governance. To the PNM, PNM means what? People never matter. People never matter, PNM. To the PNM, pressure, no money. PNM, pressure, no money. Everything, they don't have the money, but they could find money to buy painting and soak on the seas and all those things I call out for you. PNM means pressure, no money. So we are the only party, as I say, we are people-centered in our policies. We are people-centered in our delivery. And when others were talking, I say, Barry boy, we real do thing, you know, when we win government. When people mention those so many things and people forget what we have to remind them. We did it before, we can do it again. So let us work together to rescue, restore, and rebuild Trinidad and Tobago. It is time. It is time for a U-turn. And what are we doing? We're voting? UNC. Vote UNC. UNC and proud. God bless you all. And I thank you very much for your time and your patience.
Ready to defend in the toughest side, right down till the end, standing by my side. When I need a friend, I depend on you. Nothing could rise above my feelings for you. I give you all my love and that times too. Straight to go all day, I get it from you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you. You give me a reason to jump for joy. You give me a reason.
Put them out with total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power, dominate their reign. Let's put our country together again.
Yes, people, of course, that was Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Splendid, 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 superlative. All of the, what I consider to be accolades of a, or should I say, put towards a leader of exceptional quality and value to Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, indeed, we must live better, we can live better, and the only entity so to do is, of course, Kamala Prasad Bisesa under the UNC. After all, we have accepted that the PNM is a criminal enterprise run by criminal entities who, of course, are attempting to hoodwink their way back into government to do us evil and, of course, exhibit pain, ache, agony, and stress. No, we are not going to accept that at all. They have come to the zenith or the end of their reign, and we must, of course, send them packing, preferably to the dustbin of history. But just in case you have a difficulty, let me just remind you of this.
The Prime Minister to do something about crime. I'm not in your bedroom, I'm not in your choice of men. You're losing the war against the criminal element, but you hold the government accountable, and the government must be held accountable. The country is awash in blood. There isn't a news item in this country where there isn't a good chance that a major part of the news is who killed who. We're taking the advice from you, the people. And when you have had enough of what we have done, you know exactly what to do. You know what to do.
Your vote will decide our destiny. Your vote will decide.
The people, of course, if you are so minded, of course, we are already 30 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. If you wish to call in, we take one or two calls, but I would want to
the people of this country are quite correctly holding this government accountable to secure the country and to make you feel safe. You're losing the war against the criminal element, but you hold the government accountable, and the government must be held accountable. The country is awash in blood. There isn't a news item in this country where there isn't a good chance that a major part of the news is who killed who. We're taking the advice from you, the people. And when you have had enough of what we have done, you know exactly what to do. You know what to do.
For them out, they go Martin West. For them out, they go Martin East. For them out, San Fernando West. St. Anne's West, Boys Bay North. Vote them out, vote them out, vote them out, vote them out, vote them out.
let me just, President, good night. President, good night. Let me just, let me just lower the volume on this.
Proudly saying,
Right, good. Yes, President, good night.
Yes, good night, Mr. Lennox.
Yeah, good night to you.
Yes,
Good night to
good
you.
night.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, Mr. Lennox.
Yes.
Now, you see how a leader of a nation does address their citizens or the citizenry.
Yeah,
No, that is
so
the way.
true.
That is the way leaders speak to their citizens, right? But we have this ugly, bald-head looking thing called a prime minister, right? Which to me personally is nothing more than a bunch of gangsters who run in this country and doing what they want and oppressing the nation.
Yeah.
And these people have to go.
That's right.
They have to go.
Yes.
Man,
And I want to tell you, it's not you
mess.
alone, who recognize that they are gangsters. It's a criminal enterprise. Rest assured, the majority of the population would have acknowledged what you're saying. So you're not alone, my friend. But go ahead.
Yes, because I mean, look at the state of the country. Just imagine school now open. And look at the state of the education system in this country. But let's talk about health. Boy, that is a story by itself.
Yeah, disaster. Another disaster
Yeah.
episode, yeah. Delivered by the PNM.
And it's only disaster after disaster in this country, because I mean, when you really think about Rowley and his administration, since them took office, I don't think Rowley ever bring back one black cent into this country, All they're doing is they're like a set of parasites. They're just only taking and sucking this country dry and oppressing the citizenry. What kind of a leader do that?
A conman and a criminal, of course, and having associated and or Ghana, likewise or like-minded elements who are criminals in their own right. So birds of feather flock together. That is what's happening there.
Well, the only thing I could think or suggest is the fact that his advisor, right, is nothing short of the fella next door, the gangster man next door. I think he's the man advising this particular one here because I don't think really that bright,
Well, he's a good emulator. If he's not that bright, because they say parent could talk too, but they are limited. But they repeat all what somebody else would have taught them, limited as it is. Well, the same thing with him. He believed that he could bring Maduro in Trinidad. Well, I say to him that they will assassinate his ass. Understand that? They will assassinate his ass if he only does that. And I'm saying so only in the context that if he tries to do what Maduro has done to the people in Venezuela, lose the election handsomely, and then trying to stay in office by utilizing the military and the police and law enforcement agencies, including, of course, the judiciary that he has put in place in order to keep him damn safe. If Rowley does that, he will be assassinated.
Well, here what going on, Mr. Lennox. Mr. Lennox, we in Trinidad have to give Rowley a Tobago treatment. You understand?
Yeah.
Hopefully, the problem I think have a seat in that parliament when we finish with this evil, wicked PNM and that man called Rowley, because they are very evil. You doing these things to your own citizens? Yeah. What kind of human beings think like that?
Well, I mean, that is now very evident characteristic of the man. It is idiosyncratic because when he was in opposition, or put another way, when he was under the Manning administration, he stole from the Tobagonians itself by moving materials from the Tobago hospital that was and still is in dire need, and put it to his private enterprise needs at Landate. So
Landate, yes, yeah, I remember hearing that.
So as Prime Minister, we would have ate the bread that the devil need, and is a continuum from since 2015, having lied to us and told us that he is not what we know him to be now. So he cannot get away. His destiny has been, should I say, craft or etched in steel. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You see, this evil administration, God Almighty will deal proper and true justice to Rowley and his bunch of gangsters, you know.
Of course.
Because you see what they have done to
People
this
could
country,
never prevail.
right? They have to pay.
Yes.
Them fellas have to pay, and we fingers will ensure that they pay, you know.
Of course.
Under
That's the
God,
first stage of the
them,
game.
yeah, them.
Yes.
Them
First stage of the
fellas have to
process.
go. That to go.
Yes,
Mr. LENNOX, good night and have a blessed night, my brother.
Same to you,
God
my
bless.
friend. Same to you, my friend. Same to you, my friend. And let's
Okay.
hear Rowley at his
I'm
best.
not in the choice of men. You're losing the war. Prime Minister to do something about crime. I'm not in your bedroom. I'm not in the choice of men. You're losing the war against the criminal element. But you hold the government accountable. And the government must be held accountable. The country is awash in blood. There isn't a news item in this country where there isn't a good chance
let's go.
that a major part
Let's go to the line as well. Pleasant good night. I thought that people would have got enough of Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Not that I would be averse to your comments. Go ahead. A pleasant good night.
Good night. How are you going, boy?
Well, of course, as could be in this circumstance, I'm very heartened by the presentation of the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, Kamala Prasad Bisesa, and Leader of the UNC.
When I heard some of she measures it, but you don't stick this brick in MP in them head.
Yeah.
Them ain't going to vote for that.
Yeah.
They only going to vote for separation. Right?
Yeah.
When an imbecile like Marvin Gonzalez could come and talk the rubbish he talking about what $4 billion in NGC gas money to pay back and we had to pay back. Who the hell tell them go and build smelter plant and all our excess energy they had to go and take it there is who had to pay it back? We? They bill it for that and NGC was supplying that natural gas to that place. They have to buy it from them.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, why does he want to start with the taxpayers with this foolishness for? And you know what? This visionless, blindness, I don't know what to say, government. All over the world, people using the natural resources of the country to benefit the people of this land. And I ain't going to call him what I call him, huh? But this foolish man, Marvin Gonzalez, he's the minister, wherever it is, right?
Public utilities.
Public utilities and he cannot implement solar power into all these government buildings. He can't do that. He can't put solar panels in all these government buildings to save on the electricity at the buildings and schools and also. They can't do that. What's wrong with them? Listen, they're talking about green this and green that, but them ain't no green. Them is a green donkey, right? Because if they wanted to save taxpayers' money, Lennox, they would have implemented that. Furthermore, I want the opposition leader to do something like that, implement it in government buildings, and also she must give the people of this country a choice.
Yeah.
Right? So do like what the Bajan Prime Minister do over there.
Yes.
She giving the people the opportunity to put the same solar panel on the house,
Yes.
furbish the house with that.
And feed the excess
And
into
furthermore,
the national grid.
right, the excess going back,
Yeah,
the government they said to buy it over. I mean that rocket scientists in Lennox and Barbados could do that.
Yeah.
Who is Trinidad? I mean, it's such a stupidness.
That is rocket scientists. Science for Rowley and they are extremely myopic.
Yeah.
They can't see well beyond the nose.
They don't do anything to benefit me. It's only to benefit them and their finances. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that, Lennox. Furthermore, he went and opened a plant the other day. You didn't see him. A water leaking plant. Right? Where any leak in the country, they go find it. I hear people calling radio station and Kunji and all them calling. They are leaked for 2 weeks and all kind of thing. How come you leak and take and pick up that? It have a leak in the system?
Is a new toy, is a statement to send the fools further who don't know about the system or the technology. That is what they're engaged in. Phantasmagorical stories that has no benefit to the country.
Well, apparently the system they have, the computer system, we have a leak. That's why they pick up that leak.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Well, if it is implemented by leaky people, we expect.
Well, I see that 24-hour man's thing in Lennox. 24-hour man in that shifts there now.
Yeah.
So who lucky to get a job? The business good.
Yeah. So don't be surprised.
And I see a video come out today, Lennox. I shocked. A teacher conducting a classroom. he teaching there, 3 fellas stand up in the middle of the classroom
And they playing cards.
and throwing dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got played.
What kind of foolishness is going on in this place there, LENNOX?
Rowley,
And I sure the
Rowley
teacher
and
can't
PNM
tell
in
him nothing, eh?
office, that is only how they can get away with that nonsense. People simply are reckless and brutal, just as the leadership. The extent to which you have a sane society, a progressive society, is reflective of the leadership, and the leadership clearly has collapsed in this country, politically and otherwise.
I'm sure that teacher can't tell him nothing because they go oppose him.
No, they can't. They can't. And there's a particular way, if you're a teacher,
And
you have to know how to do it. But
people-
I'm sure many of them would not want to go through all of that.
no, they got plan for you,
Rigor,
LENNOX.
yeah.
They got plan for, and way this country running these days, boy. Them fellas ain't afraid to fix it, you know.
Yeah, all they want,
Anybody get any
all them
matrix these
teachers
days.
do now is to get a salary and go the way they can't say they didn't come to school.
And-
They can't say they weren't present, and they can't say they didn't sign the attendance register.
He teaching the class, and if them want to disrupt the class, he had no time with them. Who want to learn. According to the Prime Minister, who dead. So who want to learn. Right?
Yeah, that
And they want to
show you.
pin all this on the last Prime Minister that's saying that she take out corporal punishment. All the blasted parents been taking care of all the children. We feel the school is a nursery to mind all the children.
On the question of
The
dead,
disruptive children coming from home.
yeah, the question of dead,
And
the
they-
PNM is dead. The PNM is dead. So he's correct. Who dead, and the PNM is dead itself. All right. I'll have another call on.
All right, have a nice night.
Yeah, bye-bye. Pleasant good night. Sorry about that. Welcome.
Pleasant good night, Pleasant good night with an excellent program tonight
Right.
with the honorable, distinguished leader Kamala Prasad Bishesa and her team.
Yeah, boy. She was at her supreme best.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Mr. Lennox, could you remember, I like to throw your mind back.
Yes.
Could you remember in 2015 when the outgoing Prime Minister the outgoing Prime Minister just now was in war with Manning when Manning kicked him out of the cabinet and he went Diego Martin, and he told the public in the meeting, he told the public that he have a feeling that the PNM will lose the election.
Yeah.
Well, I want to tell the outgoing Prime Minister tonight, the outgoing Prime Minister and the outgoing ministers, because that's how we have to adjust them now, the outgoing Prime Minister and the outgoing ministers, that I have a feeling that he wouldn't just lose the election, he would lose in places that he didn't thought he could have lost.
Beautiful.
Yes, I want to tell the outgoing Prime Minister that.
Yes.
I have a feeling that he would lose parts of PNM stranglehold where he never thought he could lose.
Yeah. I like how you call it. Instead of stronghold, it says stranglehold. I agree.
Yeah.
It's really stranglehold.
Yeah, because he's strangling them with
Yeah. With bullshit. Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And the taken strangle, the taken strangle
because they thought
sorry to say, they didn't even know better.
Yeah, they were conditioned to believe that is the best. Imagine you in pain and ache and agony, somebody executing that on you, someone who is living in comfort and of course decency and voluptuousness, and he has the ability to make you not believe that he is living there and that he's living among you. And you are prepared to take the pain, ache, agony. I mean, that is a tremendous piece of brainwashing. You know, that reminds me of this fella in Guyana. You know, what was his name? The man who caused his flock to commit suicide. Jones. What's his name? Jones. Yeah.
You know what is happening in a meal with those people? How a man could come into office, the outgoing Prime Minister that is.
Caller, just hold on. I have another caller on my hand phone. But go ahead, Mike.
Meet everything working.
Yeah.
Everything he touch, he destroy.
Yeah.
He mash up the sea bridge. He destroy petrogen. He retrench TSTT workers.
Boy.
He planned to mash up WASA workers. We have to pay We had to pay a bill that them leaving current on and air condition on in buildings. We have to pay that. We on top of that have to pay property tax. We paying mosquito tax. We paying all sorts of tax,
Yes.
and we getting unnecessary ticket.
Yeah, boy.
And he gone on a platform, the outgoing Prime Minister, to tell we if he wasn't in place, it would have been worse. Oh my God.
That is
Mr. Lennox,
epitome of madness or attempted brainwashing.
that's
You know what I mean?
total brainwash.
Yeah, that is attempted brainwashing. Because you really believe everybody are fools. To tell
That's
people
correct.
that, I mean,
That's correct.
it
But
is sad.
I want to take too long leaving room for the other callers.
All right.
Right, so,
Yes,
but
that's
I just say
somebody who got it
that
on.
is my contribution tonight,
Yes.
Mr. Lennox.
Yeah.
Excellent program tonight. Let me hear the opposition leader, this distinguished leader who loves Trinidad and Tobago and love the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes, no
And
doubt.
you continue to do a good job. Mr. Lennox, have a blessed night.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Pleasant good night, caller. Welcome. Welcome. Hello. Hello. The caller that is waiting, you can make your contribution now.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Make your
Lennox.
contribution. Yes.
Hey.
Good night.
Lennox,
Yes, good night.
good night.
Good night.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, of course,
Hey,
as could be.
excellent performance by the opposition there.
Yes, boy. Yes, it was magnificent.
Excellent.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, magnificent. Yes.
Magnificent, man.
Yes, man.
See all these things that she implying, all these things that she wants to do,
Yes.
they have it similar here in the United States, you know.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, they're similar.
Right.
What she's doing, because you're not gonna miss anything like the the medical field and the facilities.
Yes. Then you have
It's
a
almost the
medical
same.
insurance system as well. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
The insurance system and the
Yeah.
card and whatever. I listened to her well, and she did a very, very good job.
Okay.
Right. Next thing again,
Go ahead.
put a pin on that. Next thing again, I want to know if there's something wrong with people in Trinidad and Tobago. Is something wrong with them?
Well, I don't know if it's a case of course, there is none as blind as he or she who refuses to see. There are some in the vast minority now who refuse to see, even though they have 20/20 vision. So I suppose that is the category of individuals you're referring to. But by and large, people know what they have to do. They have seen what the Rowley administration is capable of. And as the last caller, I think one thing he forgot to mention in terms of the Rowley's destructive, what I consider to be monolithic force, is that he will also in the process destroy the PNM itself. It will implode.
Yeah.
He's that destructive, yeah.
Yeah, but Lennox, gosh, man, you have all these things that what Kamala had before, which I know, you know, and that now she adds some more to it. These people was getting a gold spoon in their mouth.
Yeah, of course. You know, it is said, and the Bible is replete with incidents like that. When things are nice, Moses took the people out of bondage and the way to the promised land, and they engaged in all kinds of devices that even got him fed up as well. So you have those that are recalcitrant and who are destined for destruction by their conduct and their attitude, and plain, of course, leaders. Well, Rowley is one of those. But the people in general have been able to redeem themselves and eventually end up in the promised land.
Yeah, but if she gives you 5 years again, man, that place should have come like United States.
Yes, my friend.
Well, I seen it.
And if you give Rowley another year, it end up like Venezuela.
I mean, worse than Venezuela.
Worse than Venezuela. Yeah. We can say Haiti or Somalia. Caller, just
Yeah,
hold
but-
on, just hold on. I have another
Yeah, but
caller on the
yesterday,
next line.
yeah, but he run to United States to get what? Medical attention.
Yeah.
Government medical attention.
And we'll come back here. We'll come back here in office and have the audacity to see how excellent the medical system is here, and how well they did with COVID, and that is parallel system. Every blasted thing collapsed. Everything was measured, and if you have to really measure it, you would see that 500 deaths is not superlative medical system make. You cannot say you have so much debts and say that you had a perfect or almost perfect system. It just does not compute. But he believes that he could sell that to the population. But the population now is making this government a laughing stock. He is a persona non grata. I really believe that not only would he be hung down for criminal and civil actions by the police and the population as a whole demanding their pound of flesh, but I think he will have difficulty, all of them staying in Trinidad. They may have to live somewhere above the Bocas, between Trinidad and Tobago.
I would just say that because some of them got to leave, because some of them don't better come here because they're waiting for them here too. So I'm just saying that.
Yeah, but Rowdy's the kind of fella will seek asylum, maybe in Venezuela or somewhere there, so he get out of the reach of the law. When of course his turn would have reached, but certainly to be prosecuted, not persecuted, prosecuted, because it would be just. He would want to resist, and one of which is to run away, because he has an extremely low inferiority complex, or high, depending on your perspective, because he cannot be serious. He has never been serious, and all that braggadocio was merely, of course, to be aggressive, because aggression is the best form of defense, and you mustn't ask him anything, because it's about skullduggery, it's about criminal behavior, and it's about, of course, dispossessing the vulnerable and the gullible in the country. All right?
Yeah, but he's a bully. He's a bully and a con man,
yeah. Well, he more like a
bully and a con man.
Yeah, a bull, and he acts
perfect
like a
con
bull
man,
in a China shop, bashing up everything. All right,
But
I have another caller.
I lose two brothers in the COVID, right?
Yes. Okay. Right.
Yeah, I lose. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So we will talk. We will
Lennox,
talk, because we have outstanding matter to
we'll
deal with.
tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah,
Thanks.
all right.
Thanks. My assistant will call you.
Okay.
Pleasant good night. Sorry about that. You know how it is.
Yeah,
That's
hello,
a long
good
distance
night.
call. Good night.
Hello, good night.
Good
Calling
night.
from San Fernando here.
Go ahead, San Fernando.
That is an excellent thing by Kamala Prasad Bisesa
Yes,
tonight.
that
I was
address, yeah.
thinking of doing a match, but then this is the opportunity I was waiting. This is the thing that I was looking for, right? Because she has brought it out very excellent.
Yes.
And then, a couple nights you played the program with the Minister of Education,
Right.
where she went and opened some school.
Right.
Right? Just imagine, right? You take away laptops from these kids in school, right? And now you as Minister of Education going to open a school, right? And when you open it now, the whole school falling down. 10 million you spend. 10 million you spend.
I thought you was forgetting 10 million, It's not 10,000, It's 10 million.
10 million you spend.
10,000 10,000 would have made someone upset. Far less for 10 million. I mean, you talking about hate, unlimited. These people must be hated for what they have done to the people. That level of profligacy now.
I want to explain this to you.
Go ahead.
Right? No, listen to this. If you have people who reach the age of 65, they get in the pension, they retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. This government, this present regime, take away the laptops from children, from the school. You have approximately 5,000 people. I want people of Trinidad to think about this. 5,000 people under your watch failing SEA almost every year. That is multiply 5,000 by 9. Right? How much you get? 45,000 people.
45,000, that's right. Yes,
Right.
my price is 45.
Okay,
Yes.
9 years ago, that 5,000 or whatever would be today 17, 18, 20. So by the time these people reach 20 years, they're unproductive if they're failing, and you're giving them nothing.
Yeah.
So
And thus the tragedy that is Trinidad and Tobago today, in terms of the unraveling of so many dysfunctionality within the society among individuals and groups.
So when these people reach 20 years, 18, they're unproductive.
That's right. They can't function. They're dysfunctional.
I want to find out something here. If you reach 20 years and you're unproductive, what do you expect the government to do? Now give you the same 3,500, because remember you can't contribute nothing to the society now, you know.
Yeah, but you ain't reach the age.
Yeah, reach the age.
Yeah, so you have the better part of what if it's 20, it means that you have the better part of 40 years to go again. 45 years to go. Yeah. So that person in trouble. So, but as human beings, they must eat, they must be clothed, they must be, recreate and so on, and they will have to parasitically live off of the productive ones, and thus crime and criminality becomes the order of the day in terms of expansion.
Where will we get the productive ones again?
Yeah.
Because you understand what I'm saying? Productivity, your productivity in your country will be almost nil. Will be
That's
nil.
right. Next one. Yeah, and then you have a bunch of distressors preying on the productive ones that are already dwindling.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs.
So that presentation tonight by Kamala Pazaz, that's great.
Yes, that's great. Yes,
that is what we've been waiting for the opposition leader to spell it out for Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, I think she was very persuasive, she was very upfront, and she was practical and pragmatic as well.
Yeah.
All right, I have another call coming in. So,
all right, okay.
Have a good one. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor. Pleasant good night. Welcome to the corridor.
Pleasant good night, Lennox.
Good night to you.
Pleasant good night to you, Lennox, and to everybody on the chat.
Yes. Yes, good night to you.
I'm still hearing the gentleman talking.
You hear them? No.
I'm hearing the gentleman talking.
You sure?
Yeah.
You hear them now?
All right. Yeah, it stopped now. It stopped now. Yeah.
Maybe a delay on your side. Yeah, go ahead.
I must compliment Mrs. Prasad Bissessa tonight.
Oh, she was
on
excellent.
her presentation.
Brilliant.
Tonight, it was really good. Saddam let them have it. He was really, really good. And you know, Lennox, what is funny is that you're going to hear the naysayers and them, the critics and them. You know, the armchair critics who know everything.
They know everything, but they could do nothing and make all kinds of assumptions. Sitting down, sipping a cup of coffee, and not getting their feet and hands dirty. But we know them for who they are. They are just fakes. Yeah.
Yeah, you just know them by the husk. You just know the nuts by the husk.
Yeah.
And you will hear them, oh, she didn't say this and she didn't say that.
Yes,
but she can't say everything in one night.
Of course not. And we have been saying it. We have been saying it for those who wish otherwise. We have been saying it.
And you know, Lennox, she gave numbers. She gave a number. She gave she said she was giving it.
To make contributions. Is a work in progress. To make your contribution.
Yes.
So don't tell me that you will sit down there and she didn't say this. You say what you would do.
She didn't. Yes. She said, I'm sending your ideas. But I hope Raul Glasgow was listening because he over-criticized the manifesto. She should scrap it and she should do this, that, and the other.
It's selective argument for a purpose that is for no good. So we have enough experience among us to know that is the intention. And it can't be devil's advocate alone. It has to be more pernicious than that. But go ahead.
And I'm glad that she did that. I'm glad that she did that because a couple of nights ago you were saying, oh, she's not consulting with nobody else. She's not this and she's not that and the other. Right? And she said it tonight.
Yes.
She said it tonight.
A work in
Sending
motion.
your ideas, sending whatever. It's a work in progress.
Yeah.
She did say tonight. So let us hear from tomorrow now what you're going to hear from them. Lennox, they're sounding very tired tonight. They're sounding very tired.
Yes, I
So
am. I
just
am.
want
I
to
am.
touch on a
I was surprised
I
to
just
hear
want
so
to
much
touch on a little
calls.
thing.
I was surprised to get so much calls after that. I thought people would have been exhausted like me. I was hoping, but I
Yeah,
have to
we
respond.
are.
Yeah,
We are.
yeah.
But we still want you to know that we are here and listening to
Yeah,
you
okay.
and part of the program.
Right.
What I want to say tonight, I want to
ahead.
tell Stuart Young, you're a blasted hypocrite.
Mhm.
You're a mocking pretender. You are telling the Women's League, I don't know what it is they had, and you was telling them that make sure don't vote for because they will take away all the programs. This man is had no shame. What program?
By that desperation,
But
that
you know, tomorrow we
desperation.
will,
Yeah, that
you know,
desperation. Right?
tomorrow we'll expand on it a little
Yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah. He knows.
You
He
took
knows his
away,
ass is grass. He know all of them ass is grass. But
yeah,
of course, he would try to
you took,
generate the fantasy, hoping that like
yeah.
water mixed with soap water, hoping it will stick on the wall. No, it can't stick. People know all you. But go ahead.
Imagine you take away the baby grant,
Yes.
right? The baby grant you took away. You took away laptops from the children. You took away a good living that children had. You took away the children, they were paying for the kindergarten schools. They took that away from them, right? You took away the money from the children with the cerebral palsy. You cut the children's life fund. You targeted the children, and you have to go out to tell the people, don't vote for UNC because they will cut your program. But you know why he's saying that, Lennox? Those are the people in the PNM who don't deserve those programs, and they're getting it. So they know damn well if the UNC come in here, they're going to revise all those programs and take it away from them because they did not deserve it. They did not deserve it. Like half of them who get pension and they're not entitled to pension. And all the grants and things that they get in. But tomorrow we'll expand on it a little more, Lennox.
Yes,
You
yes.
take care and have a good night.
Yes. Yes, but I mean, she said that she gave a reason why he was talking like that. I think it is a kind of madness where these fellas are now in a perpetual state of this malady where they believe saying that will get them into office, knowing full well that they have cut, make, of course, people's lives subjected to greater misery, but at the same time in a fit of futility and intellectual and cognitive decline, mixed, of course, with deception and illusion, to try to project that what they have done is not so, and therefore stay with the PNM to, of course, experience pain and agony, which has been the hallmark of the last, well, by the time election reaches 10 years. That is the level of madness that these fellas have reached. And let me tell you something. They have much more mistakes to make. Is it mistakes? Or is it a natural phenomenon that if you do evil, evil will naturally follow you? I think the latter is the case. It has to be. Evil could never prevail over good. Let's go to the line. Pleasant good night. Welcome.
Yes, Lennox, good night. This is Tobago East
Hey,
calling
how are you
here,
going, man? How are you going?
I am cool, man. Well, you see the police in Tobago locking up certain people,
Yes. I
politically
played
wise,
it last night. One of your secretaries, and he said that they are victim of a PNM plot conspiracy, which of course
It is a PNM
we
plot.
know. Well, I'm
Because
just
the
confirming.
policeman
Yes,
involved,
we know, yes.
the policeman who is involved in all the bacchanal,
Yes.
everybody know who he stand for.
Right. So, but they
Right?
can't get away with that. That
This
is
man is a
nonsense.
known campaigner for the PNM.
Yeah. But why
And
would
just
the
imagine that man holding the high spot in Tobago.
Yeah, but why
So you
would the
can imagine
PNM
what happen.
continue to engage in such activities that will make the people hate them more and they therefore have a worse showing in the upcoming or any elections to come? Why do you think they would engage there? Is it that they feel that they can succeed as a consequence of it? I talk about electorally with that kind of behavior. They can't even succeed with that in Trinidad. Are you understand how they succeed in Tobago?
It caused them to get 14-1 in Tobago. That same man do that.
That
That same man caused them to get 14-1 in Tobago.
Yeah. There's no way.
And he got cause them to get more.
You see, you see, and
they're using the uniform to victimize people.
And watch me, they're so desperate that they're not even engaging in investigation. It appears as though they hear something and they move on it so drastic that if you are not careful, you will believe that it is true, only, of course, for them to spit in the sky really and fall in the face. The entire thing collapses on them and reinforces the hatred that they have for PNM across it. After Rowley, there's no more PNM. You know? There's no more PNM. The man would have succeeded in collapsing the PNM and all, imploding the PNM and all. Yeah, no doubt.
Lennox, let me tell you something. You see that same ministry there?
Yeah.
The amount of things happening in our ministry there under the PNM, and not a man never been investigated. But that same infrastructure division there. The amount of things went, all kind of thing went there. Went missing in that place there. And nobody never hold accountable. All kind of racket run there. Look, for example, $10 million went missing from the Ministry of Tourism. And not a man up to this day ever get hold for anything. Community development, how much millions of dollars missing. Nobody never get
but for an inspection that you believe is suspicious. You and I could
office or like that.
Yeah, you and I could get inspection.
Never get charged for anything.
You and I could get an inspection. All you have to do is to pay me money and we get the inspection. And even if you have a problem, the fact is that the man has a certificate. He has a certificate. So whether eventually when you re-inspect it, it has some defect. That all you have to say is that the people who conducted the inspection, the private inspectors, overlooked something. That's the most you could say. But you can't go for warrant to get access to the man thing and then take the man devices and so on. That piece of madness.
You remember last year election? You ever see an election in Tobago where you ever see a rat squad?
No, I never heard of it.
We have less than 40,000 people voting in Tobago. And here we are, the Royal Squad now, in Roxborough.
Yeah,
just imagine that.
You only believe that he could perform.
But you have a squad patrol in Roxborough.
Yeah, but we only believe he could perform a Maduro in Trinidad and get away with it. You know, but I will tell him, they will assassinate his tail if he only
let me tell you something.
Done all of this, and then of course lost the election.
Then go stomach that shit where they happening to them over there. You know?
Yeah.
They may go stomach it here, you know. Let me be careful of what they're doing, you know. Because everything out of Maduro book is a Rowley doing it.
Yeah, trying to do that here, but with certain adjustments, certain adaptations.
And terrorizing every opposition in Venezuela, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, all have a right to be angry. I was angry.
Them is the people who looking for the opposition leader, you know.
Yeah.
But the opposition leader is in Spain.
Yeah.
Because they granted me immunity in Spain right now, you know.
Yeah, but of course.
He and the hoodlums of them all over.
Any part of the world he would have been given immunity. Any part of the world. Right?
Listen,
but the thing about it is the man.
Three gangs. Three gangs in Venezuela, and some of them men and them they wanted for murder and all kind of humorous things in Venezuela, you know.
Yeah.
And there is the man who actually running Venezuela, the National Guard, one of the most corrupted force in the world is the Venezuelan National Guard. They're patrolling sea and land, you know. Because Venezuela have no coast guard.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. If I was that opposition leader, I would have stayed in Venezuela. Let me see what the rest of the world...
No, they would have killed him.
Yeah, let me see what the rest of the... No, let me see what the rest of the world will do. I would martyr. Yeah. I will martyr myself. I know that they will kill me, so yeah. I ain't wasting no time with that.
But they will kill him because watch me, them fellas' name is hoodlums, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anybody come against Maduro there, then they take them out.
So I'm saying...
people missing in Venezuela that they don't even tell you about it.
I'm saying yes, but that would have been another cog, another reason for the rest of the world to react and act, because the man win the election. You go into court first and foremost, because you know that the court, what the outcome of the court decision will be. Something like Rowley, right? Rowley lose, but let's say he tied the elections in Tobago, and then go to the parliament knowing full well that he has a slim majority and know that the additional 3 seats will be granted. You think if he didn't know that, you think he go in there? But he know that. So he go on there now and believe in the people in Tobago.
They don't get happy, the Americans and them, because watch me. Maduro might have Cuba and all of them down in the back there, guarding the borders, you know. But he ain't nobody guarding Tobago borders, and he ain't nobody guarding Trinidad borders.
That's right, exactly.
America is flying whoever they want to.
Let him only go ahead and play that he could.
They will do him just like what they do with Panamanian president.
That's right.
Just that they will do him.
But I don't think
America vex.
I don't think it will reach
fly in and put on oil suit on him and go with him.
The very fellas that they call gangsters and so on and so on. Let me tell you something. These fellas have a sense of social justice adjustment, you know. When it turns out that Rowley is clearly the loser, and then he used some of his friends in the police service and the army to stay in office, I tell you them fellas will kill he. So he ain't gonna last long.
Let him continue because he just understand America and all of them.
They see that as their justice, and justice for and on behalf of the society. They are weird, let's say, Robin Hoods, you know. They are weird Robin Hoods. They have a sense of justice, yes.
During 1990, Lennox.
High up. Yeah, go ahead.
During 1990, I see something while I was walking was St. Joseph Day.
Yeah.
There's a helicopter, one of these American Harrier helicopters.
Yes.
Came across the mount in St. Augustine the night of the coup. And light up the whole aquarium.
Yes.
There's a lot of things went on in Trinidad during 1990 they never tell you about it. That piece of TDT that blow off. American blow it off. They never tell people that, you know. But I just show the might of America.
Yeah, time with Rowley and, you know.
Let them take their time with America. Let Rowley know what he's doing with America, you know. America will fly in here.
Let him only
and
try
next
that.
thing you know, we will just hear that they lock you up and go on with him.
And see why I know that he's capable of doing that.
Be careful of yourself.
Why I believe that he's capable of doing that is because all of the things, whether it be the Vincent Nelson matter that he tried to set up Anand Ramnogan and his colleague, and then of course you have the Brent Thomas matter where they kidnapped that fellow from Barbados, and then of course the entire cabinet conspired to protect Rowley. And I'm sure Rowley would have insisted on that when his name was being called in the fake oil matter and mash up our ability to earn more foreign exchange that we are now earning. All of that tells me that he's capable. And watch me, the last one I want to tell you is that setup when he set up with his friend from Diego Martin, who was leaving the Howard University, and set up that doctorate arrangement because they planned it in such a way. Because they knew Biden, so they offer Biden, of course, a similar opportunity, an honorary doctorate. So both of them could have met. That all of that is part of a plan, you know. That was not by accident, you know. Rowley knew that Biden was also to be honored, and the fella who Rowley gave the highest award from Diego Martin, his friend, set up that whole play to get him closer to the Biden administration. But of course, if he has done wrong, as we suspect, and why he has to visit America so often, the Americans are not going to let him off. Just as how Biden's son, for example, today was pleaded guilty. He facing 14 to 17 years in jail. But you know, but the point is, they are respecter of no one. So if Rowley believe he can manipulate the Americans and fool them and have the embassy here and the ambassador licking his fingers and, of course, feeding out
They are
of his,
watching him right now on a very
palm.
cocky eye.
He
So
fooling
he had
himself.
what he said. They are watching him a very
Yeah,
cocky
he
eye
fooling
right
himself. Yeah, he fooling himself. Because look, they just take, after all these years, same time with when Delcy was here, they take Maduro personal plane, you know, from the Dominican Republic. So let Rowley go ahead.
Yeah.
The people, I tell you, the
They're
PNM
watching him at a
itself,
cocky eye because
the
they want to know what
PNM
kind of
itself,
game he playing. So he had to watch himself
yeah,
because
PNM itself
Trinidad
is in
and Tobago will
jeopardy.
suffer mostly
Yeah.
without any embargo that we get right now.
Yeah. So I would be
We
surprised.
need America. We everything that we do here depend on the Americas.
Yeah, I
So
would
we
be surprised.
can't afford to get ourselves tied up with America.
Yeah.
Because we will sometimes Venezuela if that we reach that situation, you know.
Yeah,
Venezuela
but they will not
planting,
allow
we
it.
planting
The
nothing.
fellas here will not allow it either. So let him play with fire.
No.
Get the hell out of office and take your charges on them that you will obviously get because you have stolen from the people. You are a thief, Dr.
Yeah.
Rowley. You and your entire cabinet. And nothing you say or do could wash that. You could do this, you could do that. The fact of the matter is that the evidence is so blatant, so clear, so pellucid, so conspicuous that you must face blue lights and silver bracelets. All of them. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, Lennox. You see the infrastructure, the Secretary for Infrastructure?
Yes.
Remember, all this at a work-free partner where he didn't get paid for.
Yes.
That is the man who signed that he wouldn't get a cent, you know.
Well, obviously, so is revenge.
I know they was going to come back at
is
him.
revenge orchestrated by central government, Rowley and they. That's not waste time.
Right?
And, you know,
so
and
I know they would have come back at him because he's the man who authorized no payment for the man until the audit went on.
And anytime they get catch, if they hear them, when they, as soon as they get catch, they go silent and then make some superficial adjustment, like how Al-Rari had to be moved from Attorney General. That's part of the response. But eventually it will catch up with them because 5 years will come to an end.
You remember the Red Farley and them house?
Yeah, this I'm saying, yeah. And remember in the parliament, Farley didn't hold back anything, so much so that Rowley get vexed when he get exposed and saying how he go sue him. When he realized he can't sue him, he gone after the whistleblower, but claiming that that whistleblower is an important element in, of course, transparency and accountability in any country.
The man on a wish one right you.
But he wants to sue. But he wants to sue the whistleblower.
Do it all the way you want.
In the Farley case. Yeah. Go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, my boy. So we go talk again.
Yes, my friend. All right, well, let me close up now.
Sometimes I might call you, but I'll be listening all the time.
All right, my friend. It's 22 minutes past. Let me close up.
You have a good night. And everybody on the chat, have a good night.
Thank you, of course. People have come to the end. Yes, if I'm singing tired, it's because I am. I'm very perceptive of Miss Santa Cruz to recognize that. But, of course, I suppose in your voice you can get a sense of maybe a shortness in delivery. I suspect that is what transpired, but I feel that way as well. So people, of course, have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. But before that, let's hear Rowley again and his confession. I like to hear when he confesses, because he makes himself an ass. So when, of course, Hines is trying to defend him when he was asked a direct question, well, let's say Rowley said that if, of course, a government cannot address crime and major issues, they are part of the problem and therefore should demit office. When they asked Hines that, Hines didn't answer the question yet. He gone, and some people say he gone Greek, he gone France, he gone philosophical, and at the same time, he simply said at the end of it all that we have a problem that we have to deal with. Nothing connected to the answer that one would have expected, and a very short one, yes or no. Would Rowley leave office? He can't say it. I mean, and the song so asinine, they look dotish.
The people, and when you have had enough of,
and they are certainly in a state of mental decline.
I'm not in your bedroom, I'm not in the choice of men.
But listen to him. Listen to Rowley.
Minister to do something about crime. I'm not in your bedroom, I'm not in the choice of men. You're losing the war against the criminal element. But you hold the government accountable, and the government must be held accountable. The country is awash in blood. There isn't a news item in this country where there isn't a good chance that a major part of the news is who killed who. We're taking the advice from you, the people. And when you have had enough of what we have done, you know exactly what to do.
I will play that
you know what to
make
do.
people realize what we have said.
Our destiny. Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. Move and use it well before it's too late.
The people of this country are quite correctly holding this government accountable to secure the country and to make you feel safe. You're losing the war against the criminal element, but you hold the government accountable, and the government must be held accountable. The country is awash in blood. There isn't a news item in this country where there isn't a good chance that a major part of the news is who killed who. We're taking the advice from you, the people. And when you have had enough of what we have done, you know exactly what to do. You know what to do.
I wonder what is that.
For them out, they go Martin West. For them out, they go Martin East. For them out, San Fernando West. St. Anne's West, Boys Bay North. For them out, for them out, for them out, for them out, for them out.
PNM is the stalwarts of mafia, bubble and corruption. Home of them big liars, big thieves of millions of dollars. Don't trust none of them. Them is the real problem. They're doing what they want, so they be fucked up. We not voting them for King's PNM. We not voting them for King's PNM. King Rolling, King Imbert, King Forrest, King Scott, living high, dictatorship style.
Proudly saying this. He says, if the government cannot deal with crime, then the government is part of the crime. What do you say now, Mr. Rowley? The parents. You don't want to blame parents.
When PM Rowley was in opposition, he said, anytime a government resorts to blaming the opposition for its failure to deliver on their mandate and their responsibilities to the people, it is a clear sign that they have accepted that they have outlived their usefulness. Why hypocritical PM Rowley is not out of office by taking his own advice? Obviously, he even lied to himself. When PM Rowley was in opposition, he said,
like the
anytime
glass
a government
itself.
resorts to blaming
Never
the opposition
intended
for
so
its
to do.
failure to deliver on their mandate and their responsibilities to the
Power
people,
hungry and greedy.
it is a clear sign
You
that
pay
they
the
have
price.
accepted that they have outlived their usefulness. Why hypocritical PM Rowley is not out of office by taking his own advice? Obviously, he even lied to himself.
Proudly saying this. He says, if the government cannot deal with crime, then the government is part of the crime. What do you say now, Mr. Rowley? What do you say now, Mr. Rowley? What do you say now, Mr. Rowley?
Time to go, time to go, time to go, it's time to go. Look, now is the time for Crowley to go. It's only Kamla with its trim they go. Time to go, time to go, time to go, it's time to go. Look, now is the time for Crowley to go. It's only Kamla could say trim they go. It's only Kamla could say trim they go. It's only Kamla could say trim they go.
Yes, people, of course, we have come to the end of tonight's program. Of course, don't forget that tomorrow night we are on again at 8 o'clock. And don't forget tomorrow morning, of course, the ground report. Sorry to have been a bit tardy this morning, but I had an appointment with the TV6 with another charity that I am associated with. But, of course, I'll be in full bloom tomorrow, for want of a better term. From 6 to 9, Andy, Mikey, and myself. See you tomorrow, and God bless as we continue, of course, to treat with these and more. Of course, I think that particular clip, I think I would want to extrapolate. I want to look at every syllable because I think it's important to rediscover, if you want to call it that, the hypocrisy of Rowley, and of course the fact that he never meant to, back in before 2015, really and truly wanted to treat with the issues of Trinidad and Tobago in the way that he prescribed then, because now we know that he as well ensconced himself as a conman, as a criminal, as a deceiver, as a leader of a criminal enterprise called the PNM, and the PNM itself, of course, clearly is on the verge of collapse. That being as it may, have a wonderful rest of the night. God bless. Bye-bye.
It's not for people like you and me. It is for all them politicians. And I dig in their grave, no fuck with me hand. I find some of them, they living too long. And every 5 years is the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down. So I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he. With joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politicians, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body. I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on the face and with maybe a hand. It's time to move trash from out of this land. In but I take in my time with he. I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do. That man is a waste. Bury in the back of my cemetery. Turn he upside down. He face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he. Not with the hand, put good fork on he. Gypsy, political grasshopper. I may feel little pity cause he's my brother. But like Tarzan, he's swinging from vine to vine. It's time I help you to make up your mind. Fitzgerald, Rasta City, I know they go glad to get the body. Resi on beat and dumb for all to see. Drink 2 beers and watch Coco get happy. I don't care all who go vex with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. I don't care all who go vex with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. I don't care all who go vex with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Vex with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. I don't care all who go vex with me, but Kamala I not ready to bury. She is a strong, determined woman like me, and deserve a chance to run this country. When she in power, I don't go hungry. And Calypsonian does get big money. She don't deserve no spot in my cemetery. I putting she in the center of the city. Paula, you too damn lazy. You sit on a throne while women die daily. You deserve a nice spot in my cemetery. All you do is just collect big salary. Regis, you disappoint me with your racial tongue. You like you can see. Your barber does trim you with weed waka. All day, all you do is sushila. Fally boy, you is a boss. I celebrate with you when PNM lost. One day you must come bust a line with me. We go knock a glass, make myself happy. I yardy that what you is to me. A grassroots man, stand up for country. I will stand by your side and watch you at work. Or if you falter, you're going to get four. Watson, what is wrong with you? I thought you and Fally would have stick like glue. Boy, shake the man hand and tighten that spade before PNM come back and win that race. Shamfa, want we sacrifice, yet every week she have new weave, man, she living nice. You and the cold pot man resemble and strong. A bum seated bread and you like a tongue. They living too long, and every 5 years is the same old song. Some of them dead, just shame to lie down. So I prepare for them a burial ground. Rowley, my first grave for he, with joy in my heart, put him down with glee. All of them useless politician, only making up numbers in my island. Al-Rari, I refuse body, I leave them Muslim, them to deal with he. Big smile on the face and with maybe a hand. It's time to move trash from out of this land. In but I taking my time with he. I personally will prepare his body. Make sure he have a sardonic grin on his face. That's all he does do. That man is a waste. Bury in the back of my cemetery. Turn the upside down, he face I can see. Look for the strongest grave digger to cover he. Not with the hand, put good fork on he. Gypsy, political grasshopper.